Marth Fox is a matchup that requires a certain level of practice and precision to actually be able to play properly against someone like Zain. So I will say this right now. Unless I play really badly, I'm just not scared of the other Marths. Like, sure, can they take a set off me? Yeah, it'll happen. I'm sure I'll drop a set to Kevin at some point. I'm sure, especially...
I literally don't think it will, but okay.
But you know what I mean. I'm saying...
I know what you're saying, where, like, you don't want to be too egotistical about it, but, like, it's not... Currently, right now, just literally, like, your base level of play...
Yeah.
Probabilistically, will probably not lose to any Marth except for Zain for the rest of your career unless somebody gets way better.
Yeah.
I honestly, after looking at a lot of footage, do not believe it's possible.
Yeah.
Unless you straight up suicide like 9 times, or it's a best of 3.
Yeah, the best of 3 is the scary part. But the thing about Zain is that Marth does lend himself to consistency. And so you either have to A, have an unbelievably hard read on him and have a consistently hard read on him, or B, you have to somehow get your level of consistent play up to his level. The second option is not really viable because burnout exists. And so for me, I've already kind of maxed that part out. I think most of the people who watch me would agree that I've maxed that part of my game out, and that's not... Of course, like, there's room to get better. But I think that was my frustration at Summit too. Even though I wasn't exactly as good as I am now, and I will continue to get like better in some regards at that, I need to start playing the player significantly more because there is no way for me to win that matchup against him at this point without doing that. Like, I need to sit down, analyze him, and figure out stuff to look for. Otherwise, I just don't have a realistic shot at beating him. I can't go into a set being like, oh, we played for 2 weeks, like I have a good chance of winning, and just expect to be able to win anymore. Like,
it's just the nature of like of a losing matchup, and it's like maybe at some point you'll find a strategy, or I'll find a strategy where Fox does beat Marth. But like,
yeah,
that's how losing matchups work, where you have to play to the player. Like, if you win the matchup, you don't have to play to the player because you can beat them with just your character.
Which is what I've done my entire career. That's why I struggle with Zain, because honestly, in every other matchup, I did do that. I don't play the players in any of the matchups because I know that A, my character is better, and B, I'm better. And so it's almost inconceivable that I will lose a lot of the other matchups. And that's why you only ever see me drop sets like Falco, where the matchup is close to even, and there is like legitimate counterplay. And so someone who maybe is worse than me can study me, pick out some habits, and beat me if I'm not prepared for them, which is...
And also matchups are, like, based on the meta.
Yeah. So...
Where, like... Yeah.
Go on.
No, we're, like, basically, I think that there is a... Like, dude, like, yesterday when I played against Zain, I swear I see a way to play the matchup where Fox beats Marth.
Yeah, no, so do I.
Consistently. Only on platform stages, mind you. I do not think there is a possible way, no matter what we ever think or do, that will make Fox win on FD. Like, Fox could maybe in some world go like 45-55 on FD. I don't know how, but like, I can see it. Okay, so what do you think of your set with Zain yesterday?
Okay, game one.
Like, I know you're frustrated, but like, what do
game
you
one
think?
was
Because
super
I watched
winnable.
it.
Game one was super winnable. I think on Fountain, it's not that I forced the issue too much. It is and it isn't. It's not like I played like too quote unquote aggressively, but I think I was too hungry for a big opening and didn't actually play neutral enough, and then I got tilted. And then game three, I think towards the end I did a better job of slowing it down, but I still was trying to just force an interaction and force an opening way too much, and I wasn't playing, and that's part of the reason why I think I'm going to stay on my medication for tournaments, even if it doesn't give me the peaks that I can have off of them, is because I don't think I have that issue on them, and I'd rather have my stuff come down more to like my preparation, my practice, than I would like some variable in-game factor.
Yeah, so there's a pretty simple actual like description of what happened, and it's pretty similar to what you're saying, but basically like you only play neutral in this matchup out of certain spacings. Like, you only go for things out of certain spacings, like, ever. And then in the match, there were a bunch of times when something would set up, and it would be, like, close to that spacing. And like normally you wouldn't take that, but you were like, it's kind of close enough. Like I'll go for it.
Yeah,
and that happened like over and over.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite the right spacing, and you're like, I can make it work, and you just literally die out of it, and it was like, oh, like that just literally straight up happened over and over. The entire set was like, you would see a situation and you'd be like, okay, like it's not exactly where I want to be, but it's pretty close, and then like literally like. Instead of missing the fair, he tipper fares, and then you lose your stock.
Yeah, no, that exact situation happened over and over again. I think I need to be a lot more deliberate.
It's crazy to watch that it just literally happened over and over.
I think I need to be a lot more deliberate about my spacing in general in this match. Because I remember that's the one thing George Fox told me at Summit, which I agreed with, is my awareness of my spacing sometimes does just go away. And when I'm playing well, that doesn't happen. When I play well, I know where I can get in, where I can't from, and where I have to like play the slow game.
I think it's because it's subconscious. I'm saying the Cody spacing, where like he's under one platform and then you're under the inner tip of the opposite platform. You didn't use that at all, and I think it's because like you don't have it in your head like gonna be at the Cody spacing. You know, you're just like, I gotta trust myself to be at the right spacing.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
That creates like variability in like how you're feeling, and that's what creates like those situations where it's like in the moment. If you're not super on point mentally, then you might see a situation that's not right as like close enough.
No, I pretty much agree with that, because I couldn't put that into words exactly, but the feeling I have is I was always slightly off of spacing, slightly like too slow on something, and then he would either dash back or tip or fair me when I thought I had a punish game opening, and
yeah,
that was, I kept getting that feeling over and
like,
over again.
And over.
Yeah, and so what you're saying lined up with exactly basically how I felt. So I think in the future, having stuff like that written down so I have it fresh in my head going into a set would be really beneficial for me. So I have and that's kind of what I meant by I want to be studying and have like focused game plans going into certain sets against players. So I'm like ready, like, okay, this is what I need to be doing against this player. And so I know what to be looking out for, right? Like against Mango, I need to have certain platform like things memorized, so I know like if I feel uncomfortable, certain things I can do to like reset or get myself into a better position. If I feel like I can't make anything go my way, and like against Zain, if I feel like I'm just not getting the openings I need, I can keep that spacing in mind and try to play off that instead and look for certain options.
I think.